All right, let's hop into game number 3 here this time for our Saints. After that one, of course, they were with about 97 points in the bank, which puts them right now in the top 20. Still a long way to go from the top, but they're still doing solid considering the hundreds of teams competing here in these Play versus Trios events. All right, gang's all here just in time. Pretty standard stuff here for the St. Clair squad to get themselves all shielded up and good to go. This time, their plan not getting faltered upon, not getting mixed up because of early game aggression, so good to see. A very peaceful start here for the St. Clair squad going to game number 3. With all the time in the world to farm up as much as they want, we do see possibly some players far along here spotted out here by Junie. Storm about to move forward. Saints have a long way to go here to get themselves back into the safe zone. And I like to see what Siri's doing here. Gas can ready to go. Get themselves a ride out. Well, of course, also having as much shields as possible. Still, everybody loaded up, good to go. 100 on everything. Now it's just a matter of getting themselves into the safe zone. They have 3 minutes 30 seconds to get themselves there. They can definitely do that. You're going to be the one to move into the zone first. Junie and Lasix are going to be a little bit short to follow here in the sports car. And Siri's already found himself a new home to go take a look at, but we find himself a chest real quick, knock it open. Blue shotgun, definitely going to trade that one out without question. And then we did see ammo get close to becoming a major factor there for the Saints in game number 2. So every little ammo box they can find, I'm sure they're going to want to plunder. Saints are just going to basically crawl with the fact that this storm moves so slow from house to house, to rock to rock. They're going to make sure that they basically gather up a little bit of everything here. We do seem to lose Judy for just a second there. There we go. Welcome back, Judy. Has the shield cans there, so solid pickup for Judy, able to top people up as the game goes on. They've almost made themselves into the first storm section. And then I know I mentioned it earlier in regards to game number 2, but it's still so odd to me to see Basic so far separated compared to where the rest of the team is. This game, not so much, but game 2 was definitely a massive outlier. But it does make sense, I guess. If you're trying to get 3 people completely looted up from one location, is unlikely, to say the least. Having them like somewhat separated but still kind of close, that definitely makes sense. Just dawned on me to not exactly finish up the prediction from the last round there. And of course, it was if the Saints were going to be able to get 10 eliminations in Game 2. Did get the opportunity to hop into the game client and double check it. And sure enough, they were finished that round with 11. So they were able to successfully get that one. For those who voted that they would, congratulations. And we finally have ourselves a bit of a skirmish here. The action is here. Siri, Junie, and Lasix find themselves... Looks like at least one team, possibly 2. If there's 2, they're definitely not afraid, though. Siri charging on forward. Junie short to follow. Sniper rifle, of course, in the hands of Siri. Possibly find himself a quick pick, but it takes forever for those sniper bullets to travel. If you can manage to find a shot with those sniper rifles, it is definitely a feature in itself. We see Junie going to tag the player up in the high ground, up in the building at least a little bit. Back and forth battle. Siri got tagged up a little bit himself, so he's going to be forced to splash himself up here with a couple of those shield cans. And there's Siri going point blank with somebody, actually getting rather close to losing a little bit of health, but A-okay for now. Oh, very close shot there, nearly on to Junie. But not going to get tagged, at least not as of this moment. Very messy skirmish continues here. Lasix alongside Junie. Can they find the one? They are going to find the Ryu. Takes him down. Just got to find that finishing blow. They are going to end up just taking him down there. Junie going to give himself the kill that time by giving the Saints their first elimination here. And game number 3. May have gotten one, but the action is not over just yet. There's still 2 other players possibly from that team opening fire upon them. I mean, we can hear it. These players are angry right now. Really trying to get into the Saints or try to take them down for size. And it looks like Siri is the only one who's taken any shield damage, so... The only one like super at risk here, unless they go absolutely face first into a shotgun blast. I guess that's one way to do it too. Since you are in the desert with all the crystals, get yourself one of those crystals and be able to just anime dash out of there. And get themselves out of dodge as quick as possible. Meanwhile, a little bit further down, Siri shot fired, and he got the knock with the sniper. Huge shot for Siri. That was only a knock, though. Can they find the finishing blow? Oh, they're going to move for it, though. Looking for the player. Where did they go? Finally, they do find his actual teammate, though. Not going to be able to knock him down just yet. Barely above Siri as of this moment. Big shot there from Siri. Going to take a good chunk. One more spray and pray takes care of the job. And the Saints are going to find themselves 3 eliminations total now, as both of the, or everybody from that team has been taken down. But at what cost? They were fighting that for so long. We see now the storm is now in effect. Saints slowly taking damage, and they have a pretty decent distance that they have to actually cover here. Now that's just unfortunate there for Siri. Thought he was going to be able to get himself a crystal, but that crystal is actually glitched. So he's not going to be able to pick that one up. He's going to take a lot more damage here in the storm than I'm sure he was expecting. Junie and Lasix a little bit further down the line, just about to touch the safe zone. But as soon as they get there, they're basically going to have to start running again, because it looks like the storm is not going to give them any favors. Going to put them further and further into this next zone. Almost everybody on the side of St. Clair sitting at about half health because of the amount of damage that the storm did to them. So definitely a bit of a rough spot. Siri definitely getting the worst of it, however. But of course they have those cans available, and those weren't shield cans, those are health cans. So they're going to be able to top themselves back up to 100 health and have their shields still available. Possible sniping opportunity here for Siri. He's basically the third party here onto this group. He does find the one shot, 100 damage. The shields are gone onto whomever he just sniped. But now the gig is up. The team knows that they're basically getting third-partied on. They have to either evacuate the area or start to build like mad. And right now, if they just built, I don't think they would be considered in the safe zone. They'd be close, but I don't think they're quite there. But after that snipe hit, it did get kind of quiet here. Did Siri spot a player? Very well, might have. It's going to be calling it out. Does find some decent damage onto one of them. Does see the player trying to make a move, and he's going to run for the hills, or run down the hill, rather, and try to get away from Siri. Or Siri not going to let them get away with it. Going to get the high ground on them. It's a very, very rough spots for whomever that is to have to be in. Oh, they were trying to get cheeky, and we do see that is the the underground tunneling. And wow, that guy must be sitting there with like maybe 1 or 2 HP. Spots the guy trying to heal. Gonna pepper down the building. So we hop on here with Junie, who was peppering the building at just a moment ago. Do they continue to assault down in that building, considering he's sitting there with like maybe 10 health? I know they want this kill, but at the same time, it looks like they have something else on their mind. So we switch on back here to Siri, who has himself a bit of an overview of majority of the battlefield right now. A little bit of a lull now, so they're going to get themselves into the safe zone. It's not quite uncomfortable yet for any of these teams, but it's starting to get there as we are about to hit the... I was about to say about to hit the 50-player mark, so I thought somebody was going to go down, but I got baited. There is still 57 players here in this game. care package is down on the northern side of where the new Eye of the Storm is. And it looks like it actually got picked up, so some team just absolutely profiting, being able to get that package prior to the teams actually getting involved. And there's going to be yet another snipe making contact here for Siri. Does take out a decent chunk of shields, or takes out all the shields rather. 110 damage to be specific. Lasix getting a little bit caught out of dodge. That being said, there's tons of cabbages coming out here for Siri to keep him topped off. Meanwhile, Junie moving forward. He finds the rest of his team as well. And now it's going to be the go time. There's two people just right out in the open. This is a bit of an awkward skirmish here. Who is going to get the better of this? Siri stayed behind to basically be the one to open fire. And there we go. Shotgun v shotgun. Nobody makes contact, it looks like. Siri is going to be making some contact here actually onto one of the players on the far side. Did knock them down. Needs to finish this job, and he is in fact going to be able to do so. There's another elimination on the board now for St. Clair. Should be about 7 eliminations, I do believe, as of right now. Siri finds somebody trying to cross in front of them. Not going to let them go away scot-free. A little bit of a tag to take care of some of the shields. Just enough to nip them in the butt, make them try to play a little bit safer. Don't want to try and cross that again. Now it's going to start getting uncomfortable. 52 players still left here in this game. And this safe zone is about to start getting very, very small. Thankfully there for the St. Clair squad, they will not have to move far in order to get themselves to the safe spot. But they do realize, of course, since there was a team that parked themselves right next to them, they're going to have to move, and they're really going to put the pressure on. But some other teams actually putting the pressure on from the other side here, as we do see from Siri's point of view. Going to try and keep this wall built up. However, he's completely out of brick. He's going to have to be using either steel or wood, but wood is just going to get absolutely melted here in these endgame situations. Oh gosh, very close quarters here for some of those teams. Just straight up dodging and trying to steal somebody else's fort for their own use. They're going to be able to get away with it, but as we see, big shot. That's going to be the 4th snipe from Siri landing here in this game. He is absolutely a magnet here with those shots. This is starting to get messy. Sure, the Saints were firing tons and tons of shots, tons of the damage, but it's hitting nothing but buildings. But the teams are fighting back. They spot the one player. Where does the rifle shot come through? We see Siri looking for it, but there's still so many teams down below. This is going to get so nasty here. Saints have to move. The Storm is actually going to be nipping on their toes here in a moment. They're going to have to make a run for it. Hang on a second to try and regroup, and now they're on the move. Going to be able to get themselves into the safe zone. As long as they can fortify themselves up, they'll be A-okay for at least a moment. Good use of the harpoon, actually, to snag some of the loot that was on the ground there. That was a good, like 20 wood or so into the pockets of Junie, which may not seem like much, but that is 2 walls, which is definitely a make-or-break difference here in this Fortnite late game. 45 players still in this game, and now how many of them are out of gas and out of mats? We'll have to figure out in a moment. At least in regards to ammunition this time. Siri, at least, on the side of the Saints, is not too worse for wear in regards to assault rifle and sniper rifle ammunition. You see constant shot after shot. Players are just floating by like it's nobody's business, but at the same time, they're still not taking any damage. Saints trying to tear through. They get jumped on, actually, Very messy. That really, really hurt Siri. But he's going to be able to get himself topped off at least a little bit. Has cabbage, has a couple of those small potions, but he doesn't have time to actually really heal up. Junie is also a little bit worse for wear here. Down to about a quarter. He is not going to get knocked down. He gets himself right back up in the last possible second. Never mind. He is actually killed off. A little bit of a health bar and glitch, it looks like, in that situation. So Lasix and Siri, once again here, try and finish off this game. It's still kind of early for the late game, however. There is still 33 players left in this game. Saints do not want to fall right now. And Siri's getting peppered upon from the other side of the wall, trying to build up the best he can. Hangs on for dear life. But where in the world is Lasix? We're not going to know just quite yet. Lasix is actually in the midst of the action, kind of stuck between a couple. Does end up finding Siri here in this spot. Get the fish. Can he get it down? The fish, of course, a healing item, but it is one of the quickest. So you can really just chug the fish down nice and quick and get your health back. Good shot here for Siri. He's going to whip out the crowbar on them, but he gets caught from behind. Absolutely horrifying moment here for the Saints. Where is Lasix? Still alive. Gonna possibly just try to lay low for the next couple of moments. We hear shot after shot above Lasix's head. But can he keep himself safe? At this point, you've gotten yourself a couple eliminations. Okay, just try to get as far as you can without being noticed. But it does not look like he has been stealthy enough. He's going to try and make a run for it because, of course, the storm still is moving. You cannot... excuse me. You cannot get comfy here. That's going to be another one. Lasix actually found himself another kill. So that's a good, solid move. But the teammates are going to be calling him out, I'm sure. So he's really going to have to go right through the storm to try and make something happen. He's getting peppered on from so many angles. I can't even keep up with the action. Gets launched into the storm. This is a bit of an awkward position. I don't think he is going to be able to survive that. He is not. But he did make it to a top 4 finish, which, given the situation, that is actually not too bad there from this St. Clair squad. Got themselves a bunch of eliminations again. They get themselves a top 5 finish. This is the kind of stuff we need to see from them, and they're doing it absolutely pretty well every time. Game 1 was a little bit quiet, but otherwise they were doing absolutely fine. Going to take a look now. This puts them with 219 points, and just being shown here by Siri, I believe that does put them in 11th now. So strong game once again here from the St. Clair squad, putting them... excuse. My apologies. This has not been my night in regards to coughing on stream. Do apologize about that, all the headphones users. But still, 11th place as of right now, and that was only after 3 games. There is still another 7 maximum, or until 11 o'clock comes, which of course is still another hour and a half away. So Saints about halfway through this Play versus Fortnite trio session. But there is still plenty more action where that came from. Don't go anywhere. Our Saints are pushing towards the top, and they're going to be able to keep this up going into game number 4. We'll have to find out in a second. Thank you for sticking around, and we will get right back into the action momentarily.